Hi guys, I'm excited today. I'm really close to getting into competition shooting. I'm almost there, and I just got this box in today in the mail from Bang Incorporated on Shootout Lane, and of course we all know that's Jerry Mitchell. So let's see what we have here. We have a spring kit. Smith & Wesson revolver spring kit. And of course I got this to go into my Smith & Wesson Model 625. This is the Jerry Mitchell edition. It comes with his preferred competition style grip, which is kind of a slim, smooth wood grip. First I wasn't too sure about it, but I'm growing to really like it. And it's got the 24 karat gold bead sight, which is excellent. I mean, the sight picture on this thing is just glorious in almost any light condition. So of course I'm going to be competing with 45 ACP, so that's leading me to reloading. Got a bunch of reloading stuff getting ready to happen. This is some plans I drew up for my new bench. So I'm going to try to capture video of building the reloading bench, and as I begin reloading, and kind of this is one of the first projects that I've really drawn really nice plans for. These plans are so good that I can actually cut everything before I start building. So I'll have all the pieces cut, and I'll just have to drill all the holes and assemble them, which I'm really excited about because I've really never done that. I've always kind of built off the cuff and just kind of wing it through, you know, and whatever it is, it is. One thing that's awesome about this is laying out with a knife. So instead of using a pencil, I've been using a knife here, and you can see the difference that I'm able to get here. On the right is the knife mark here, and on the left is the pencil. Can't get the focus, but it's a really precise way of doing things. And with those knife marks, I'm able to lay out I'm able to get it, you know, exactly in the mark on my, you know, rollers or measuring tapes. It's just right in there. It's perfect. And I'm able to transfer that to the saw and basically put the saw blade right next to that and get true dimensions on all my cuts. So I got 4 4x4 table legs here that are all perfect, or at least as close as they can be. But they're all, you know, the exact same dimension, which I'm happy about. I have 4 of these supports there that are going to go across the bench long ways. I got to cut 4 more for the short ways, and we're going to get rolling on some assembly. So I've got my first few holes laid out to drill here. I'm going to be using these hex bolts to hold the cross members to the legs to give the bench all its stability. And what I'd like to do is recess this hex head into these support cross members. So you can see it's about 1/4 inch there that I want to recess that in. So I have chucked up in the drill a 1-inch Forstner bit to try to cut a nice clean hole there. And my idea here is that I can kind of mark on the bit itself this little 1/4 inch or so, and I should be able to see that as it's going and stop there and check for depth. I wanted to have a nice flush look, so we'll give this a try. So that's where the mark was. That's just about perfect. Give it a little bit more. Just a touch. That is exactly where I want it there. It's going to be nice and flush. So now I'm going to go get my, these are 3/8 hex bolts. I'm going to go get my 3/8 auger bit and drill this sucker out. Nice clean cut there. Well, so far so good. This is turning out exactly like I hoped it would. You can see we're pretty much flush there. Of course, there'll be a washer in there, so it's gonna stick out a little bit. I might recess that a little bit more for a washer. Laying out these holes is a lot easier when you're confident that you have nice, clean, square edges. So I want these to be 3.5 in and 1 down. So I make a real light mark at 3.5. Put the knife in it, bring the speed square up to the knife. I can just make a little cut there and a little mark for the 1. Now I got a nice place to drill. This one, when I was working with the Forstner bit, kind of waddled out on me a little, just a little bit. So there is a learning curve here. Due to really good planning and precise measurements and cutting and drilling, I'm able to line up all 4 of these supports and drop this bolt straight through them. It's pretty neat when you do something so nice. It's kind of the most time I've ever spent building something like this. It's really rewarding. One mistake I've made so far, I realized that my holes here were a little wobbly, and I apologize, I'm losing sunlight here, but they're a little wobbly, and I thought for sure that a 3/8 inch bolt going into a 3/8 inch hole would be tighter than that, and it turns out that in a moment of haste I grabbed a 1/2 inch auger instead of the 3/8. So got a bunch of holes that are wrong, but the ones through the legs themselves are going to be correct, and the ones on the side supports are going to be right. So hopefully it won't be too huge of a mistake. I have a lot of fastening components to deal with. Magnetic bowls are my friend. So I've decided to pack up for the night because it's getting really windy and stormy out there, and of course dark. I just wanted to show you this whole bench is built with building materials that I already had. So here I have some 3/4 inch hardwood plywood, which this one is 2x8. I ripped it right down the middle. It's a 4x8 sheet, and so this will be cut in half to make my 2x4 foot tabletop for the reloading. I have a few pieces of pegboard here, so I'm gonna make a little shelf system on the back of the bench, and it will be lined with this pegboard, and that way I can throw pegs in there and have reloading components and my gun cleaning rods and things like that hanging on it as well. 2 6-foot 4x4s, so that got turned into the 4 legs of the bench here, and I had 4 8-foot just regular stud 2x4s, and that was enough to do all the supports. In fact, I have a whole 2x4 left over, so I was able to get this whole bench built with only buying the 1x6s for the shelving unit in the back, which I haven't actually bought yet. And I had to buy a few, I bought those auger bits and the Forstner bits to be able to drill some nice holes. Otherwise I had everything here, and of course getting into reloading is expensive because you need the machinery, so I didn't want to spend a whole lot on the bench. My very messy shop. There's the kayak. Hopefully I'll get kayaking again this spring and summer. Got a rack of skateboards in the back there, longboards. So anyway, thanks guys for watching, and tomorrow I will get back on the bench. We'll get the frame completely done, and hopefully I can get that tabletop cut and start fitting that to it. See you tomorrow.